Also, one last thing on Stop Killing Games. Developers aren't confused about what gamers want. We want the same thing as gamers. We want software and games to stop being deprecated and to work afterwards, or at least be given over to community that can make them work. The problem with the Stop Killing Games initiative is they can't decide clearly whether they want the community to pick up the pieces or they want the developers to, but they also can't realize that the developer is involved in those pieces. Even if you want to make the game open source or something like that for everyone to use and then recreate the game quickly, the developer has to put it out. And Ross's whole argument with this is we can keep the games online if we can just get the server binaries from the developer. But that poses another problem. Sometimes code is deprecated that we use to make these servers, server tools and things like that. Also with that, sometimes it's licensed and our hands are cuffed and we can't give it out. So I really don't understand why we want to keep arguing about this. A really, really good game developer and decompiler could, in theory, recreate the server using AI tools. It's very, very possible. I'm not saying it's ever been done, but it's very possible in today's day and age, especially with AI advancing. This still doesn't solve the problem of software and games deprecating themselves. There is not much we can do about that other than passing a law that forces them to either come up with a plan to make it public when they want to end it, or they want to make it indefinite, which means, they pass away and you don't get their product. But the argument I'm hearing from a lot of people is screw you want to make it so they have a choice. We don't want developers to have a choice. We want to force them to release things. This ignores a single individual who makes an online video game and then is dead in the future and people are mad that the game isn't online anymore. I get that this is a fringe scenario and most people would understand that the person died. But neglecting it over and over and over as an argument is not helping. Saying that the plan should be for the developers to come up with a plan of their own is also not going to work because people just don't do that. They don't come up with plans because other people force them to. Coming up with a plan to make developers decide whether or not on the page, the store page and the marketing, whether it's going to be indefinite or not, that is a realistic expectation that you can give developers. But expecting them to hand out software that they don't own the rights to is not a realistic expectation. It's literally illegal. We can't do anything about that. So if you want to pass laws, you have to work within the confines of the law, which he's going to find out very soon.